taking on Chris Paul and the Suns. Devin Booker. First one is on Wednesday. The preseason finale is on Friday, and then December 22nd, the Lakers' regular season journey begins against the Clippers. KCP scored 16 in the win. He's speaking with Brez in the media.
Hey, Kenny. Thanks for joining us. Big night tonight for Talen Horton-Tucker. He's obviously the story of the game. 33 points for him. He now has 52 in 2 preseason games. What are you seeing from him out there?
Nothing but just greatness. He's been playing like that since the start of training camp and practice. Just being aggressive, getting downhill, making plays, just being a solid all-around player, and it's showing that he's putting in work this summer, and Taylor just, man, he's amazing, man. He's an amazing young kid.
Davis, how about you tonight? You got off to a pretty fast start with 9 points in that first quarter, hit some threes throughout the game. How are you feeling out there, and do you feel like you'll be able to carry over that momentum into the regular season that you had at the end of last season?
I feel great. My body isn't where it needs to be, but I'm getting there, because of the short turnaround that we did have, so I'm trying to get my body there, just be professional about that. But I feel great, my confidence is through the roof. I feel like, just carry your will, will last.
I was going to say, this practice yesterday, that July came up to him on the court and said, hey, Talen's only 19. He had to kind of correct him and said, no, he just turned 20. Do you get a kick out of it at all? Being kind of, the young kid on this team, but clearly one who's gotten the respect of the veterans at this point?
Yeah, it's like I always say, I look at it as just a blessing. It's actually crazy. I feel like, what other 19, 20-year-old gets this experience in the world? Not too many. So just being able to, take everything in and just learn from it every day is good. And yeah, just seeing, other superstars, kind of notice it's actually pretty good.
Frank had mentioned this after game one. You had a good game, but your shot wasn't falling. What was different about tonight? How did you get in that rhythm, and how did you build on that throughout the game?
I feel like tonight was really my second game actually playing and getting a lot of minutes and getting those reps. So I just feel like being able to get that opportunity and being able to get into a rhythm early was really important for me. So just being able to get that got me off to a pretty good start.
It's great.
Hey, Talen. I'm curious as to kind of how you envision your role on this team. Obviously, the players that are on this team, the vets that are on this team. How do you think you can help, and how possible do you think a more expanded role is?
I feel like just coming in with me, using my my defensive instincts and being able to compete on the defensive end is going to be something that helps me get on the court. So I feel like being in that role, will prepare me to carry on a heavier offensive role, for the near future. So just being able to, get into, a rhythm on the defensive end is going to be able to, get me going and probably help my role on this team.
Hey, Taylor, weekend when you got on here, kind of curious if you give us a little sense of what some of the things those guys were.
Can you repeat? I couldn't hear it.
Which team is it really? 72 or somewhere between?
I was curious if you could share some of what Ron and those guys were saying and telling you when you got hot there in the second half. They were going pretty crazy on the bench. Do you sense what that was like?
Oh yeah, they're just telling me to keep going. Every time I'm on the court, they just tell me to play free and do what I do. So just being able to, have that support and confidence from those guys, is a plus for me. So it just tells me to just go out and play my game and be free.
Stay 45 to 50% from 3. Jerry?
Hey, Talen, what's going on? Is there anything that you can follow from the example of a guy like, say, Alex Caruso, where he's trying to make his way through the league, go using the G League as a chance to develop, and then trying to find minutes on a really good team, and then seeing the way that he was embraced for doing that. Laker fans really embraced him. Do you think his journey could be something that you could learn from as you try to make your way through this season?
Yeah, everybody's journey is different, but I just feel like AC is a pretty good one. So just being able to, see him next to me every day, and it gives you a good, measuring stick to see where you are, individually. So just being able to, have a guy like that and see the success that he's had, it gives me, confidence in myself that I can do the same thing.
Finals, you shot the lights exceptionally well, and you mentioned how you carried over between the bubble and what did you do? I don't know if there's a mic over there what took place for you?
But obviously, Devontae and Kostas are two guys that we played a lot with last year, especially in South Bay in the bubble. When did you find out that they weren't going to play tonight? Does that give you sort of a feel for how this season is going to be with perhaps guys in and out on short notice?
We found out kind of as we start coming in for the game. So just being able to kind of get an early sense of how the season might be is it was kind of crazy just seeing the guys who just could be out every other night. But it's just something you got to be prepared for. That's what we came into the season ready to take on. So you got to be healthy and just being able to next man up mentality.
More to come on Access. Kyle Kuzma had 25 points in the Lakers' second preseason win. They sweep the Clips in the preseason. We'll be right back.
So make your debut here in Lakers purple and gold, and notice just a lot of the actions where you were at the top of the key picking guys out with a pass. How much were you able to work on that kind of stuff in practice? Because I know it's a big part of your game, but how were you able to implement?
Coach made an emphasis before the game saying try to execute that in the first half, and guys got comfortable with it, and we were getting good shots as an offense, so that was pretty good.
Marc, I want to zoom out for a second. What's it like playing in this atmosphere without the fans, but in the arena, in Staples Center, wearing the jerseys? And what was this atmosphere like for you?
Obviously, fans are a huge part of the game. We miss them dearly. Hope to see them soon at Staples. But it's for me, it's good to be at a real NBA arena with the spacing and it's a little closer to regular games. It's not all the way there yet because with me it's a huge part without our fans, but it's better than the bubble for sure.
Marc, I wanted to ask you about Talen Horton-Tucker, the 20-year-old, how he played tonight and the recipient of some of those passes. What did you make of the kid? I like how decisive he is. He plays downhill, tries to get to the paint and attack. He has a variety of ways, finishing around the rim, good finisher, great reader with the ball, without the ball. And I love how defensively, how tenacious he is. He competes every possession defensively, very open to listening, and a great kid. I mean, I didn't know that much about him, but I'm very surprised and very positively surprised after watching him play for a week now. And last thing for you, you guys, of course, played tonight without LeBron, without AD. Still play pretty well, Marc. Hit a lot of threes, make a lot of plays. How do you expect to integrate those two into the lineup and as you guys get ready for the regular season, which is, coming up pretty quick here?
Yeah, it's different players, with a lot of attributes, a lot of different ways of scoring. They're going to be, obviously, our main focal point of the offense, and then we're going to have to play without the ball and doing the movement. But I think it's always great to have the full team just to get used to each other out there.
Marc, thanks.
131-106. Lakers go to 2-0 in the preseason without LeBron and AD. THT, he's leading the way with 33 on 4 of 5. He also had 10 rebounds. Kuz, 25, 4 of 7 from 3. That's a great sign. Then Montrezl Harrell doing work against his former team. Double-double at 19 and 11. Let's hear from Frank Vogel. He's speaking with Mike and the media over Zoom.
Hey, Frank, going to do a broken record from last game and ask you about Talen Horton-Tucker first again, just off that performance. You mentioned how good he looked in camp, and I know you had confidence in him going back to the bubble, but did you expect to see him have this kind of control of an offense like this tonight?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect with him playing point guard for us as much as he did tonight. But he did that some in the G League last year, looked really comfortable with that. But more importantly, he just showed more of what we've seen from him, since we've been watching him, in the G League first season and in the bubble. Just his ability to attack offensively in a variety of different ways, attacking the basket with great finishing ability, making good decisions with his paint to great, shooting the three ball well, and he had a strong defensive night as well. So I knew he was going to play big minutes, and not really surprised at the numbers that he put up.
You mentioned Marc Gasol before the game, Frank, and how you're looking forward to seeing him integrated on the offense. He had 5 assists and just a lot of really nice passes. How were you able to get that together this quickly with new players and just lean on that skill set that seems like it'll be able to stick?
Well, it's I think NBA players or basketball players in general, when they know they have a guy that's going to throw them the ball, the cutting aggressiveness just picks up. And, we came into this game knowing we were going to play through Marc a lot at the top of the key. Our guys had a great mindset to really move aggressively without the basketball, and then Marc would find you, especially in the paint. And, we got a lot of great paint catches that some led to layups, some led to paint to great situations. And, Marc gives us that dynamic. It's just going to make us that more difficult to guard.
Dave? Frank, what's going to be the key to translating Talen Horton-Tucker's production from giving him 41 minutes and giving him the ball and saying, hey, we're missing a bunch of the guys tonight, they're resting, have at it, to potentially finding a role where it's however many minutes off the bench or whatever, and trying to still have that type of confidence and production?
Yeah, it's going to make my job difficult for sure, because we have a very deep team, and no minutes are guaranteed. So he's going to keep playing at a high level. That should push everybody else to stay playing at a high level. And but like you said, it does give us that luxury of helping, having him carry the load some for some of our guys that played deep into the championship run last year, had a short off season, and he should be able to carry some of that load.
Hey Frank, can you give us any clarity as to why Postis and Devontae weren't used today?
Yeah, due to the health and safety protocols of the league, those guys had an excused absence from the game.
How worrisome, I guess, it is that we played one game now and we had guys from both rosters that had to kind of not be here because of that.
That's the norm for an NBA season outside the bubble. This is what we set an expectation for our team, that it's going to be abnormal to be at full strength, staff and players, and there's going to be guys out a lot, and we all just got to get used to the fact that that's going to be normal for this season league wide, and hopefully it's as minimal as possible, but we just try to find the silver lining in it. When certain guys are going to be out, other guys are going to get more opportunity, and you saw that with some of our guys tonight.
Hey Frank, along those same lines, considering you guys played the same team on Friday and practice yesterday, was there any question about whether this game tonight would happen?
Not really, to me. I never felt like it wouldn't happen. We knew we were going to be a little bit short-handed, but I never really felt like it wasn't going to happen.
Brian, just kind of looking ahead to Phoenix and the road environment, are you guys even aware of what the procedures are going to be, what kind of facilities you can use in that building, and how much you already know and how much we'll still wait to find out just a couple of days before that happens?
It's one of those things where we've kind of heard what it may look like, but until you get there and see it, you kind of just have to figure it all out with your first trip. We're more familiar with what the NBA protocols are going to be, but then adjusting from city to city, where each local Department of Health will have different sets of rules. That's what's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for us, is just trying to figure that out. Where are we going, and and how bad is the virus and the pandemic in that spot, and what are their local restrictions?